Hello and welcome back to Spekd. Oh, how exciting was that giveaway? I mean, if you haven't seen it yet, you need to go back, check it out to see if you actually won. Now, welcome back to more building, painting, hobbying and crafting. What can I say? Continuing our solo adventure for solo games during this time period. One that almost eluded me was the Horus Heresy Betrayal at Calth. Everybody pretty much bought this box set when it came out in the 7th edition. Everybody wanted a piece of this. It had so many models, it was crazy. So you probably have got this knocking around, or at least nabbed some models off of eBay. At the time, this was the first kind of plastic kit introduction to Horus Heresy, which is effectively 7th edition anyway. So you could use your old rule set for that. Looking back at that, so if you got your old kind of books from that, if you went and bought some off of eBay, that would be understandable. But let's get on with it. Heavy big box and models. Models, and models. What was interesting about this is it came with a unique set of dice, simple board pieces, and plenty of tokens. Now, the randomizing factor of this is the way that the decks are set up, because you have two decks, one deck for the good guys, one for bad guys. I say good guys and bad guys, but they all have like this fundamental theme based on the events that happened at the betrayal. They have the equivalent of strategies or stratagems, their cards, and even the names for the fluff and a little bit of information they give you. Makes a lot of sense when you consider when this all unfolded. Both parties, well, one party would have been totally surprised and wouldn't be expecting it, so they would be really confused as to why their brothers are in arms are busy shooting at them. And maybe even when creatures get summoned from the warp, they might be wondering like, hey, what's going on? And that all kind of adds to the story, adds to the fluff, and adds to the mechanic of the game. Whereas you pretty much draw one card at the beginning of each turn, depending on what the mission says, you might already have some in your hand, and you play them as you need them alongside these action tokens. Each squad, which fits in a hexagon, or whatever, has an action that they can take. And once they take those actions, it's like fire, move, run, assault, all those kind of beautiful things. You look, don't need to explain the game. The point is, it is a solo-based playing game because of the randomness of the dice and the fact that you draw single cards. You don't have to figure out stratagems; you just play them. It's a very nice looking game. I need to start getting the mod board out just so you can see. The board pieces are dual-sided, so you've probably got these knocking around, and you would have seen these in the background or the base of some of my videos. The tokens, don't stress about them. You could just use counters. Simple like tokens for actions. Wounds don't carry over. The model's either removed or it's still in play. That's how it functions. You can see there. You've got your blocked off areas. In red, you've got your rubble areas. So if you are using your Shade Spire board, you could probably get away with that. You could get away with Blackstone Fortress board. You could get away with your Kill Team board if you haven't got one. So you just get an idea. It's just to build a board. One extra good thing about this is there was a lot of material in White Dwarf that came to support this, like lots of individual missions, paint ups, instructions, the strategies for the game. It was very good. You can see there. And let's flick through. So that's White Dwarf 128 and 93, believe it or not. Let's just flick through. I think this one actually had a mission, which is why. Oh, no, it was, I think it's just the paint ups and using it in 40k. So that came a lot later. But the initial gameplay box sets and what have you was there. That's the same as the first one, I think. We have a game book which contains emissions, and this is actually done in the style of the Horus Heresy books. From what I've seen, I mean, it's kind of got that kind of old school yellow paper style. Very nice, very shiny, well presented, absolutely beautiful works of art. Very impressive. The game itself is a bit tricky to pick up initially, but once you've got the idea and you get used to the weapon table at the back, as you can see there, they all have different effects if it gets a critical attack. So these dice are set up, whereas you have a blank, you have a critical, you have a defend, and you have a hit. So 2 hits, 2 defends, 1 critical, 1 blank. Sorry about that if you got earphones on. So war gear, you got melee attacks, you got your ranged attacks. I'm just kind of going through this as I don't want to hold on to it too much. You do have special characters, such as a Terminator captain and I think he's a captain for the World Eaters or World Bearers, sorry. And that's motion, movement, attack. It's a fun game. I have played it quite a few times. I'll make sure I did get that play in. Its successor, I think it's Burning Prospero. I haven't yet played. I've got all of the bits, but I just need time to set up. That is where I got my Custodes from. The start of my Custodes army, which got me into them, and my Sisters of Silence. So, you know, I do owe that set, and I think a lot of people also got that set. So it's well worth looking at both of those as to something to play. Now, the little one did join me when I played this. She joined in. That's a supplement from White Dwarf. And, you know, the way that the game works, there might be a little bit of explanation, but dice rolling, everybody knows how to roll dice. So if you want your family to be involved, you can get that in as well. And you don't have to be one side takes one team. It could be you take a squad or a unit. You know, depending upon the size of the squad. It could be 2 or 3 and play against the AI, so to speak. But there's a lot of fluff for each mission. So they tell you like what's going on, how to set up your mission, and what the rules are, and specials. It's really good. I think this is like another one of those games that set up the premise of Blackstone Fortress. I know I keep on mentioning Blackstone Fortress, and that is a standalone game. You see me play that anyway. That's worth mentioning, because if you have that, yeah, go replay it. It's always different. I did tackle the Amble and took him out like in 2 turns. I didn't feel very good about it, so I scrapped the recording because it was way too quick for that mission. I don't think it was fair, especially for the build-up, which is why it went on pause. I think the characters got too powerful. Anyway, so I'm currently on mission 5 at the minute, so I'm trying not to see this as I show you. Doesn't mean that you can't see it and can't enjoy it. But if you have got this set, I do suggest you do break it out, give it a go, and have fun with it. And if you've got any white dwarfs knocking around, more than likely they have a lot of information in there for you to use. Trying to think of anything in particular that you can get away with using this with. I mean, if you got the set anyway, you're already playing probably 40k from 7th edition, so you could go back to using those rules. You know, kind of go over them. That might give you a little something to do in this time. Yeah, get your greys painted. I mean, Dark Artisan, I was looking at his grey pile, his pile of shame, so they call it. It's rapidly diminishing, and that's good to see. I've actually run out of spray paint. Oh, primer. I think I've mentioned. Did I mention this before? I can't tell. I feel like I did tell you guys. If not, I told the people on Discord. I've got a Discord channel there, and it's you know, the people there are great. They've got great artwork going on there, and that's another source that I'm pulling for the community video that I want to do. But I need a bit more variation first. Anyway, and I told them I run out of primer, so I've got this problem. I've got all of these models and no primer. So it's a bit of a tricky one with what's going on. There's no real out and about. But anyway, look at that. Now, we did see these models, the hero models, in Conquest magazine, so they did re-release them, and those are ones that I showcased. So that was my original painting back in the day for those. I'll probably do it a lot better now. And I converted this guy to a Blood Angel. Amazing stuff there. Okay, look, so that's the information that expands the parts of the Horus Heresy that they wanted you to get into. But really, when you got this box set, you move straight onto your Space Marines from 40k. It was a lot cheaper. You could, I mean, this is pretty much just before they bought in 8th edition and got the Primaris anyway. So it was kind of sneaky to get rid of extra stock from Games Workshop, but again, I applaud them. So that's this extra mission here, standalone adventure. As I said, I'm not trying to absorb too much because I haven't done it yet. But the model collection there is just immense. This is definitely 2 boxes. I mean, if you bought 2 boxes of this, you was laughing. Okay, so let's put that aside. I'll get out the models and get right back. Here they are. So as I said, this box set was absolutely amazing. It came with like 38 models. Back in the day, I obviously went Blood Angels, 9th Legion all the way, and pretty much painted everything up in that way. So you probably would have done the same with yours, and you know, you could still split them or use other models. There's no reason why you couldn't even use Primaris models here, because the bases are still the same size for the models. There's no difference there. It's just the model count. The other half I painted up as Black Legion. We've even got little Vexilla there. You know, it just is what it is. Now the Contemptor was really cool. The Contemptor Dreadnought. In this game, it doesn't matter too much whether you got the assault weapon or the melter modelled. You'll figure it out as you play. So you got 5 Cataphracti Terminators there, 1 Cataphracti Terminator armor captain there. He was. I did actually use him in more than one game with a combi melter. He was pretty cool. Did some work. Not too much, unfortunately. Smite is not his friend. The Blood Angels there, you know, I just painted up this whole box initially, as I said, like pure Blood Angels, and went from there. I think these ones are from Burning and Prospero, come to think of it. I can't remember too much. And there goes a loud bite. Either way. One cool thing that I really did like about this, which was fun, was random hit locations. Unless you actually targeted for the Redemptor, as each area had its own armor and its own kind of stamina health. That was fun to play with because you never knew what you was going to get, unless you got like a special tactical card which said something like for the Ultramarines or for the Blood Angels, it would say like Melter Bomb, select your area or Precision Strike, select the target you want to hit. It really is a good game. Each game takes roughly about 20 or so minutes. Setup doesn't take long, as there's not lots of jigsaw piecing like Blackstone Fortress. And you know, the dice pretty much tell you what it is from the get-go. You know, so that's it. Tell me if you got this collection and what you did with yours. I don't know whether you painted yours up to use as your standard Space Wolf army or whatever. You know, just let me know. And I'll be happy to hear. I'll just be interested to see what people do with theirs. As you can see, I keep saying, Blood Angels, 9th Legion, get with it. It's about time. I would never paint these up as Sons of the Phoenix now because they're a little bit too short. But good things come in small packages. Look, okay. As a quick reminder, this is just to remind you, you've probably got this game knocking around. Break it out, play it, use the original rules, have fun with it. You've seen the rules there, you can probably pause it and have a look and just have fun anyway. Either way. Hope you've enjoyed your time. I've definitely enjoyed my time. Even just looking at your boy here, look. He's having fun there with his little shiny head. Little shiny head. He was so stomped my head. But look, either way, guys, have fun, keep safe. Please try not to get bored. You know, paint your greys, break out your old white dwarfs, have a little play. You know, with your models, create new games, create house rules you wanted to try, run scenarios, look at your stratagems, work out what stratagem you've always wanted to use and how best to optimize it. You know, just do something. This is a rough time for a lot of people. I don't mind being on my own. Fortress of Solitude is fantastic, even though it's got rubbish lighting right now. But you're not alone. You know, as I've always said to you guys, you chuck statements in the comments. You always comment. I always get back to you as soon as I can, when I can, when it's viable. Discord's a good place. You know, there's not just me. There are other people there which you know you can speak to, or pretty much all times, because it is a worldwide thing. There's no charge. It is free. Just you know, have a little look, have a little listen. Which reminds me, get your audio books on if you need to. Chuck some Baldermort in the background, and just enjoy yourself, you know. I want to say thank you all content creators also which have been creating content to watch during this time, because it's cool as hell. Even the most smallest bat reps can, you know, break the monotony of looking at four walls sometimes. So I appreciate that and thank you. Alright, so take care guys, and as always, PC out.